Hello, this is Bon B, Play City Skylines. I'm Bon B and you are very welcome. Before we get started, let me remind you that you need to click like and subscribe, because if you don't, you'll have to learn to speak Swahili. And nobody wants that, do they? And so on with the game. Well, if you've been following me, you'll know that the city's coming along nicely. This is Legopolis, and we are growing nicely. Let's quick look up my residential hill. So far unnamed. We'll be looking for an inspirational name for this part of town. Let's zoom out and show you a little bit of where we are with view 2. My favourite view, which is where we are looking into town from outside. Residential, industrial to be, and the commercial retail park going in up there. In the last episode we put in a bus depot and we've now got bus services running around. I made one or two minor changes off camera since I've changed the road layout slightly in the industrial expansion area, and this tunnel here, which is the exit from the industrial area, where there's an underground loop so that traffic doesn't have to come out of the city and go back in. And then you've got this underground loop here, so traffic doesn't have to leave the industrial area to go back in. I've actually connected these two tunnels. So if there is an industrial unit over here sending goods to, say, this unit here, it can cut straight through from tunnel to tunnel rather than having to go onto this. It's only a little section here, but this road will be getting very busy later on in the game, and just to bypass that having to come onto there to go 20 yards to come back off of it, we've just put a little cut through, which is nice. Unseen but nice. Today's episode, well, let's have a quick look where we are with power. Power is good because we have our new coal power station. Water is still okay, but we'll have to give that some thought soon. We are only on one pumping station and one sewage outlet, but that's fine for now. What we will have soon, though, is people dying on us. It's gonna happen. As people are in the game getting older, we'll just click on one of these. In this house, we have got 5 young adults, 2 adults and 6 seniors, which means they're going to start popping their clogs soon. So we're going to need a cemetery. We will have crematoriums later on, but at the moment that isn't an option. We haven't unlocked it yet. When we get to about 5,000, I think we may be looking at that. At the moment we're on 3,500 populace. We'll put in the cemetery just here, which is quite nice. Let's have a quick look at this little baby from outside. Look, you got even a little chapel there. Oh, for whom the bell tolls. Wonder who's died. Shall we follow them? There goes the hearse to collect the body. Didn't even know we'd had somebody pass away. Got that hearse out just in time, I think. Or perhaps he's just driving home. He's picking up a dead person from the drugstore. What a crazy place to pass away. Well, we'll just leave you to go on your merry old way. We need to get expanding on residential. We've got a lot of demand for residential, so we're going to push on with the residential, and we'll probably have to lose a few of these power lines to be able to do that. But let's start with just expanding. A little bit of expansion. Oh, a bit too close there. A bit too far away there. There's your fella. another one there. Very square neighbourhoods. Some sort of hill going on here, I think. I don't think I'm going to be able to get any straighter road than that one. It's the problem with building on a hill, you just have to make do. Haven't decided where. Let's first of all let's make sure we're plumbing in first of all. We'll go up the hill. And up like so. And let's zone that lot in because they'll move in as soon as we zone it. They are desperately needed housing. I don't quite like losing that gap in there, but we'll do it anyway, and we'll fill it in with trees or parks. I suppose we have got the same over here where there is a gap. There, lovely. And there is commercial demand on its way, but priority is still with the residential. We might put a park in there. What do we think? Somewhere to wander about. It will fit, but only just. Well, 1 second you're saying it's okay, the next second you're not liking it. Come on. Okay, we'll pop you there. Now everybody should be really happy about their new little park. Let's increase the pipes. Now, this, we don't want to connect that to there. So we'll mirror the other side of the street where we are. Putting a couple of little blocks as so. And we're going to have to, I think. Oh, don't want anything on the corner there. Fill paint you too. Now, there's commercial demands, but I don't really want to. We could put a little bit down here, I guess. Now we should at this point be okay to destroy. Yes, we can destroy some of these power lines. They're no longer required. It will give us a little bit more building room. There, that's better. In fact, those power lines just clean these up. Right, important things. Let's have a look at the fire coverage. It's fairly well covered. We don't have an awful lot at the top here, so we might have to look at providing fire coverage at the top. Plenty of police coverage. Yes, we're going to need to put an elementary school in, and I think in this area is going to be about spot on. Right next to the park, which would be very nice for the children. Ah, yes. People already taking a dog for a walk in the park. Ah, why wouldn't you? It's a lovely place. Nice little fountain in the middle there. Still commercial corn going on. Now, how are we going for jobs? There are people. Now they're filling all their jobs. We've got an abandoned building. We'll demolish that. They can rebuild it as per requirements. But yes, no demand for jobs, which is great. All these new people moving in, taking those jobs. And still no major traffic problems. Okay, we're still only 4,000 population, but let's move the old ticker on a little bit. Yeah, we're all zoned out. We got enough for that elementary school yet? We must have. There. We'll pop you right next to the park. And we said fire was a problem, wasn't it? At the top though. So we could probably stick that next to the school. Let's first of all just check the... Yeah, we got two-way traffic all the way across there, so putting in fire there. Okay, that's lovely. We now have extra fire awareness. Now, the game keeps reminding me to do something about these fires, so what we'll do is we'll slow everything down and have a quick look. Shall we zone this on? Let's make this a district. Let's make this a district, and we're going to... Still haven't got a name for it, but Chestnut Park over here is quite fine and fancy. Just expand that over the road like that. And we'll just bring that in. We'll just tidy that up in a moment. With this one. Oh, don't quite want to do that. There. That should do it. Now this zone here, this big residential clump of space, I might split it into two areas. Let's do that. Down. Ooh. Right, now this time it's suggesting Cypress Square, which I don't think... Whereas Chestnut sounded just right for a forestry area. I've got to say... Oh dear, what is going on? I do seem to be Not doing a great job with these districts. Let's try that again. And down the middle of here. That's the one. Right, shall we expand this shopping area here to be included into our new district? And the school we'll put into the other district. Okay, so the thing is, whereas Chestnut Park is perfect for a forestry industrial park, Cypress Square, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling it. We're going to have to rename it, and I'm going to give it a temporary name. It's a hill. So what we'll call it is, we're going to call it Overlook Hill, just for now. You'd like to let me know whether you like that or not. Policies. Now we've set it as a district, we can set power usage. Do we want to save power by asking people to reduce their consumption? It does cost us a bit more to do. Reduce their water usage. Ban on smoking. Are we going to have investment into parks? Recreational use. Slightly increased tax income. Moderately increased tourism. Slightly reduced crime rate. Increases police budget by 15%. I'm going to spend 15% more. I wonder why the crime rate would go down. Are they all just chilling out? Quite probably. Right, well, I think we can just ignore that. Whereas the options in Chestnut Park are going to be similar. Did I not rename that? Did I not press enter? Shall we try again? Overlook Hill. Overlook Hill. Overlook Hill. Now we've changed the name of this. So we've got Overlook Hill, we've got Chestnut Park. Better name would be much appreciated from you, the viewers. And then we'll have a new name for this zone over here at some point. Marvellous. Well, we've got some money in the bank. How shall we spend it? Well, we're still high demand for commercial. So I think we should possibly go about putting in a little bit of extra commercial. Are they watered? No, they're not watered. And then we'll that one there. Bucket fill. Okay. But then we've also now got some increased demand for industrial. Now, the clever thing to do here, if we can get industrial into this area here, drawing power across, we can knock down these power lines once and for all. So let's try that. Well, before we do that, let's have a quick look at the landfill. It's 87% full. We're going to have to build a new one. Let's do that now before we forget. Right, so landfill's in. Nobody wants to work next to a landfill. There we are. One more building here, please. That would be lovely. And then we won't have any more concerns. That's the one. Now let's demolish those pesky and somewhat ugly power lines. Of course, we've still got power lines over here. We've got no choice with those. No, we have got choice. No, we haven't got choice because that's how we're powering this side. I do know what I'm talking about. I just don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, now we're looking for Once again, I'm going to keep the main route clear. Which will now include this. I'll have these on here, that's fine. I don't mind those too much there. So I do mind him on there a little bit though, I've got to be honest with you. I want to keep that clear, that corner. Okay, well, a little bit of industrial there. And suddenly we have demand for residential again. But we're still on top of the traffic. The traffic is well and truly contained. I think we'll use that as the now I'm liking this. How's about that? Oh, pipes. And zone. We could probably, oh, I don't know, we may have commercial in this area here for the shops. Is there anything else that's desperate? Oh, wow, look at that. We're going to need a police station over here at some point. I guess now is as good a time as any. Fire service is well and truly covered. Medical. It's a little weak over this side, but there is still coverage. Only just though. And there. Right, so the residential is building up now. Oh, we've got water supply problems over here. Yes, it would help if I provided water to the new industrial area, wouldn't it? Water. Right. So everything's going fine. If we can get another 200 residents, we'll hit 5,000. It'd be a great point to pause the game. So we've got just 200 to go now, and we will make this the bus depot and the new. So yes, name suggestions for Overlook Hill. Name suggestions for this nice little area here, and we'll push out with the residential up this way. We won't push out too much further here, so we were thinking about using this for farming if demand allows. Here we'll have that retail zone, which we'll probably start looking at in the next episode. Oh, let's speed the clock along. There we are. We're going to be there in no time at all. Less than 100. Let's zoom it out. Get a nice overlook of the whole town. 25 more bods. We're nearly there. We've reached busy town. We can now specialise in oil. We can provide free public transport. Whole host of new classier roads, which we'll definitely look at doing. Police headquarters is there. We've got hospitals available now. and the oil power plant, which I've got to say, it's a lot more oomph for your pennies than the coal. So that may be our next power solution. But yes, we've got a load of new unlooks here. We've got new planning policies, new unique buildings, and so forth. Well, I'm very happy. We've reached 5,000. It's a lovely city. I hope to catch you very, very soon when Bon Bon B plays City Skylines.